Your parents are your biggest cock blockers.
Well, let me call the police, you know.
He's coming. He's lost his coat.
Where have you lost in court? Where's your court?
Sorry, please.
Where's the court?
Please don't shout.
Find your court.
Don't shout. We'll save it.
Joseph, where's your court?
It's downstairs.
Downstairs. Bye, Joseph.
You done?
Yeah, so for some quick background here, there's something going on with the OF space where everyone's trying to up the ante, and recently there's been 2 OF stars who are trying to push the envelope. One of them named Lilly Phillips, she started off by trying to, well, she actually did sleep with 100 men in 24 hours. And her next goal was to hit 1,000 men in less than 24 hours.
Are you still planning to do what I've called the 1,000 man challenge?
The man challenge. Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my assistant's currently going through the 5,000 applications we have. It will take place in England.
Yeah.
They'll be getting, honestly, as quick as possible.
$1 Million March.
$1 Million March. This is a terrible comparison.
1,000 Man March.
Oh, God. She has a friend named Bonnie Blue, which I don't know if we need to say their names, but we did. And she went ahead and hit that goal before Lilly Phillips did and slept with 1,000 men, and I think it was like 17 hours or something like that. Yeah. So now there's a clip of a man, right? Or a young man going viral because his mom showed up to yank him from one of these events where Bonnie Blue was trying to make him one of the 1,000. He was trying to be one of the 1,000, essentially. And what do you think about that?
I don't even know where to start with. Okay, number one, his father probably approves. It sounds messed up, but you know if that was his dad wouldn't have said anything. His dad is probably mad at the mom right now. I'm just being honest. Would I want my child doing that? No, I would not. But you gotta let your kids make their own decisions, man. Like having your mom show up is probably one of the most embarrassing things that could possibly happen. And not only that, but she's recorded, so she's on live.
Yeah.
People know. Before, nobody probably would have known what he looks like. He could have worn a mask. Nobody would have known. It would have been like a good laugh. But now it's like, people know what your mom looks like. I'm sorry. It's undeniable.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's true. So he has no anonymity because now it's like, oh yeah, I know that woman. If you know the woman, you can do the math and figure out who the son is. So you're right about that 100%. I know I don't know if you were joking or not about his dad being...
I was halfway joking, but I know there's some dudes that would be like...
There are some fathers that will be okay with this, but personally speaking, I think this is just totally unacceptable. Now listen, I'm saying this from the position I'm in now as an older guy. Oh, older guy. I'm in my early 30s, okay, I'll just say it. If this guy's like, what, between 18 and 25, let's say? I can remember myself between 18 and 25, how I behaved. I wouldn't say I would have done this, but I did crazy stuff. You know, we all did. So I'm judging him from that perspective. But I can also say this. If I'm a father, I would never want my son doing this. And as a father, I think it's a less of a bad look if the father was the one to go there and be like, yo, son, what are you doing? And like take him out of there. Versus your mom coming there with a slipper or a flipper. What do you call it? No, a flip-flop. Coming there trying to slap you on the butt like you're a toddler and pulling you out. That's super embarrassing.
I'm not gonna lie though. What I think would happen, if the dad were to come to stop him, I feel like the dad would be like, son, don't do this. And then he'd be like, Dad, where are you going? It's like, bro, don't make that mistake. I'm gonna make it for you.
You might be right, man, but that's just... Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a difference between the man and the woman. It's way more embarrassing for your mom to show up.
It's super embarrassing.
And son you. I mean, it's literally son you. You know my thoughts is like, what's next? Okay, listen.
A billion men. Well, I think that's impossible.
It's impossible.
So maybe 2,000 men. I don't know.
That's probably still impossible. So I'm like, okay, so first is 100 men. Then you go to 1,000 men in 24 hours. And she said next she wanted to sleep with 100-year-old men. So what's
you said 100-year-old man?
100-year-old man she wants to. Lilly Phillips said it. She wants to sleep with a 100-year-old man.
Okay, I don't think there's too many of those around.
She said that.
But, okay.
And she...
More power to you.
Yeah, I guess the only thing next would be to just keep on going more and more men, but increase the time. So 2,000 men in 48 hours or something like that.
Even if she were to get tested, I feel like you'd still catch something because there's just too many people.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, how do you do that and then not... Like, there has to be some kind of repercussion. Like, nobody's meant to sleep with 1,000 person in a day. Or even 100 in a day.
Yeah.
Like, how can you still walk?
Well, so I did a little reconnaissance on this. That's not the right word. I did a little research on this, and I don't mean I paid for the OF, because I did not do that. I watched some interviews. I'm not lying about that. Anyways, I watched some interviews by Bonnie Blue, because I was curious between this difference between her how she comes across versus how Lilly Phillips comes across. Lilly Phillips seemed like she was she did not enjoy the 100 people. She was crying, whatever. She's trying to spin it now, but The other chick, Bonnie Blue, seems like she's a literal nymphomaniac. She seems like she was like totally happy about it after the fact. I lost my train of thought. You said something that made me think about something.
I don't know what you're thinking about because you did research.
Yeah, I watched the interviews. She's just going around doing interviews about this.
Interviews.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can tell you, she did an interview. I watched the one where she was interviewed with Kate Moss's sister. I forgot her name, something Moss, and she has a podcast like everyone else does. And she was on there talking about the situation. So you brought up how like you have to have some type of consequences or ramifications. for
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I think that aside from the obvious, which is the sexually transmitted diseases you're probably gonna catch, it's the mental aspect of it. And Bonnie Blue, to me, watching her in interviews and how she comes across, now maybe it's all an act, but she seems totally fine with this. Like she can take 1,000. A lot of these dudes aren't even getting inside of them, or they are. It's like 2 seconds, and they're already. About to, like,
Yeah. They was it for like a minute or two. They set
Yeah.
the timer 60 seconds. Yeah.
So I mean,
So they're not even really enjoying that at that point.
of course, no. The men. I don't know why the men are doing it. To be honest with you.
Well, we know why men are doing it
but for
because they're starving.
bro,
They need milk.
they definitely need some milk, bro. But you're lining up for who knows how long, looking at all these men in front of you, all these hairy, sweaty men in front of you.
It must smell really bad.
Disgusting. And coming out the rooms, and you know what they just got through doing. You got the number 750 going into that room, musty, stinky. You know what's all over the ground and the floor and her face. Let me be real nasty here. This is a family show, but I'm going to go ahead and say this thing. When I was watching these interviews, this really disturbed me. Bonnie Blue said that she had a father and son come in one time and that she was with the son first and then took the father next, and she still had the son's stuff on her face.
Oh my gosh.
Bruh.
That is
The
disgusting.
most nasty. These women are vile. That's what I'm saying. She's vile.
No, I'm sorry. The L got to go to the father and son for that because that's disgusting. Especially the father.
Oh, yeah. And the father said it was a bonding experience.
What is wrong with people, man?
I said, we're coming to a bad place.
Well, you know what?
Right?
Thank God that this is in the UK and not in the US, because the US we've been taking so many L's lately, but you know, that might have been like one of the top L's. On that note, guys, I'm gonna say the mom made a very bad decision. Your kids are gonna make mistakes. This is not gonna help it. Like if your son's willing to sign up for something like that, he's just gonna do something else.
Yeah.
Like you might catch him in Thailand next. Like end up doing something else. Like come on.
I agree with that. Yeah, if he's gonna do it, he's gonna do it. One way or another. Now you just made it worse, really, because now people know who he is.
Exactly. Could you imagine him showing up for a job interview and then his interviewer's like,
oh man, that's so bad. Oh man. Yeah.
he might actually get the job because of that.
Bro, you got problems, bro. You like you really.
The interviewer might be like, so where was this at?
This guy. Anyway,
Good decision, bad decision?
everything about this is a bad decision. There's no good decisions here at all.
All right, decision makers. If you think the mom made a good decision and she stopped her son from making a bad decision, leave a like, leave a comment. If you think the mom is a cockblocker and she is mad, she's hating, leave a like, leave a comment. All right, decision makers, don't show up.